The power of networking. Picture this. It's 1994. A young man quits his safe job on Wall Street. He drives across the country to Seattle with a vague idea about selling books online. He doesn't have much capital, but he has a Rolodex. He reaches out to former colleagues, college friends, and family members. It wasn't just his idea that launched Amazon. It was the network of 20 people who invested $50,000 each in Jeff Bezos when all he had was a concept. That is the raw financial power of a network. But let's bring it closer to home. How many of you found your current job through a cold application online? Now compare that to how many found it through a referral, a friend, or a former colleague. The statistics tell us that nearly 80% of jobs are never listed publicly. They are filled through the hidden job market, aka your network. Welcome to the power of networking. Over the next hour, we are going to dismantle the awkwardness of networking and rebuild it as your most potent professional asset. We aren't talking about collecting business cards or spamming LinkedIn requests. We are talking about building a web of genuine relationships that support you, challenge you, and open doors you didn't even know existed. First, we'll define what networking really is and the psychology behind it. We'll explore the different types of networking, from digital to in-person. We'll dive deep into strategies that actually work, even for introverts. We'll look at the common mistakes that kill connections before they start. And finally, we'll leave you with a 30-day action plan. Networking matters, today more than ever, because the world is noisy. In a sea of digital resumes, a personal connection is the only thing that cuts through the static. Let's get started. When I say the word networking, what comes to mind? For many, it's a guy in a cheap suit shoving a business card in your face while looking over your shoulder for someone more important. That is transactional networking, and frankly, it doesn't work. What is networking really? At its core, networking is simply farming, not hunting. Hunters go out, kill once, and eat once. Farmers plant seeds, water them, wait, and harvest repeatedly over years. Networking is the cultivation of mutually beneficial, long-term relationships. The psychology of connection. Psychologically, networking leverages the principle of reciprocity. Humans are hardwired to want to help those who have helped them. It also taps into the Ben Franklin effect, the psychological phenomenon where a person who has performed a favor for someone is more likely to do another favor for that person. Let's bust a few myths right now. Myth number 1, it's using people. False. Real networking is about serving people. If you aren't adding value, you aren't networking, you're just begging. Myth number 2, you have to be an extrovert. False. Introverts often make better networkers because they are typically better listeners, and listening is 80% of the job. Myth number 3, it only matters when you need a job. This is the most dangerous myth. The worst time to network is when you're desperate. The best time is when you don't need anything at all. The data. Research backs this up. According to LinkedIn, 85% of all jobs are filled via networking. Furthermore, a study by the Adler Group revealed that while active candidates look for jobs, passive candidates, who make up the bulk of the talent pool, find opportunities almost exclusively through personal connections. Your weak ties, acquaintances you don't see often, are actually statistically more likely to get you a job than your close friends because they occupy different social circles and have access to different information. So now that we know what it is, let's look at the different shapes it takes. Section 2. Types of networking. Not all networking happens at a cocktail hour. In the modern era, networking is fragmented into specific channels. 1. Professional networking. This is the deliberate pursuit of career growth. This happens at industry conferences, chamber of commerce meetings, and corporate mixers. The goal here is usually specific: gaining industry intel, finding mentors, or business development. 2. Social networking. I don't just mean Facebook. I mean the soft networking that happens at your kid's soccer game, at the gym, or at a dinner party. Never underestimate this. The CEO you want to meet might be the person on the yoga mat next to you. These relationships are often stronger because they start on a foundation of shared personal interest, not business utility. 3. Digital versus in-person. This is the big debate. Digital networking, LinkedIn, Twitter, or X, email, it offers scale. You can connect with the CEO in Tokyo from your couch in Chicago. It's low friction but high noise. The challenge is converting a digital connection into a real relationship. In-person networking, it offers depth. You can read body language, share a meal, and build trust much faster. A handshake or an elbow bump still carries biological weight that a like button does not. The winning strategy? A hybrid approach. Use digital tools to initiate or maintain contact, but aim for FaceTime, even via Zoom, to deepen the bond. Section 3. Effective networking strategies. We've covered the what and why. Now let's talk how. How do you actually do this without feeling fake? The art of the introduction. Ditch the elevator pitch. Nobody wants to be pitched in the first 10 seconds. Instead of, I'm a marketing consultant looking for clients, try the I help formula. I help small businesses figure out why their websites aren't selling. It invites curiosity. It starts a conversation, not a transaction. Active listening. The most interesting person in the room is usually the one doing the least talking. Use the Ford method to keep conversations going. Family, occupation, recreation, dreams. Ask open-ended questions. What's the biggest challenge you're facing in your industry right now? Is a goldmine question. It allows them to vent, and it gives you data on how you might help them. Networking for introverts. If walking into a room of strangers makes you nauseous, change the game. Set a goal. I will talk to 3 people, then I can leave. Or volunteer at the event. Working the registration table gives you a legitimate reason to talk to everyone without the pressure of mingling. The follow-up, the secret weapon. 90% of networking fails because of the lack of follow-up. Here is a winning formula for a follow-up email sent within 24 hours. Remind them where you met, reference one specific thing you discussed, shows you listened, offer something of value, an article, a link, an introduction, without asking for anything in return. But even with the best strategies, people trip up. Let's look at the pitfalls. Section 5. Section 4. Common networking mistakes. I want you to mentally check if you've ever committed one of these networking sins. It's okay, we all have. 1. The ask before the give. Reaching out to someone you haven't spoken to in 5 years and immediately asking for a job referral. This is the cardinal sin. It makes the other person feel like a utility, not a human. 2. Being too salesy. If your eyes are darting around the room looking for a better target while someone is talking to you, they know. If you shove a brochure in their hand before you know their name, you've lost them. Networking is about relationship building. Selling is a byproduct that comes later. 3. Poor body language. Crossing your arms, checking your phone, or standing in a closed circle with your colleagues. Open up your stance. Put the phone away. Nothing on that screen is as important as the person standing in front of you. 4. Not adding value. Networking is a bank account. You have to make deposits before you can make a withdrawal. If you are always withdrawing, asking for advice, asking for intros, asking for jobs, you will go bankrupt socially. Always ask yourself, how can I help this person? Section 5. Real-world success stories. Let's look at what happens when you get this right. I want to tell you about Sarah. Sarah was a mid-level graphic designer who felt stuck. She attended a local tech meetup, not to find a job, but just to learn. She started chatting with a guy in line for coffee about, of all things, backpacks. They geeked out over design durability. She didn't pitch him, she just had a human moment. 2 days later, she sent him a link to a backpack sale she saw. That's it. No ask. He replied, thanked her, and checked out her LinkedIn profile. Turns out he was a creative director at a major agency looking for a lead designer. He didn't post the job, he was dreading the interview process. He called Sarah. "You have great taste in design, and you're easy to talk to. Want to come in?" She got the job. That is the power of authentic connection. Or look at the founding of Airbnb. Brian Chesky and Joe Gibbia didn't just have an idea, they networked their way into Y Combinator. They reached out, they got rejected, they reached out again. They built relationships with mentors who eventually vouched for them. Their network was their safety net and their trampoline. These stories aren't accidents. They are the result of planting seeds. Section 6. Action Plan and Conclusion. We are in the home stretch. I don't want you to just listen to this hour and go back to your day. I want you to act. Here is your 30-day networking challenge. The 30-day challenge. Week 1, the audit. List 50 people you know. Categorize them. Close friends, professional acquaintances, weak ties. Identify who you haven't spoken to in over a year. Week 2, the reconnection. Reach out to 5 dormant ties. Send a simple message. Thinking of you. Saw this article and thought you'd like it. Hope you are well. No ask. Week 3, the new blood. Attend one event, online or offline, or send 3 cold outreach messages to people you admire, asking for 15 minutes to ask about their journey, not for a job. Week 4, the maintenance. Set up a system. Maybe it's a spreadsheet, maybe it's a reminder in your calendar. Schedule 15 minutes a week for networking maintenance. Key takeaways. Networking is farming, not hunting. Listen more than you talk. Give before you take. The fortune is in the follow-up. Closing thought. There's an old African proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. In your career and in your life, you will reach limits if you rely solely on your own skills and your own hours. But there is no limit to what you can achieve if you are supported by a strong, vibrant network. Go out there, be curious, be helpful, and start building your web. Thank you for your time.